Building codes typically require garages to be fire-rated, meaning they must have a certain resistance to fire to prevent the spread of flames to adjacent areas. IC-rated, which stands for insulation contact. Recessed lighting cans are designed to be in contact with insulation, but their fire resistance depends on several factors. The International Residential Building Code requires garages attached to living spaces to have a fire-rated separation, including firstly fire-rated walls and ceiling with a 1 hour fire resistance rating, and secondly fire-rated doors. IC-rated cans are not inherently fire-rated. They must be installed in a fire-rated assembly, such as a fire-rated housing or a fire-rated ceiling system. The type of insulation used in the garage is a critical factor. IC-rated cans require insulation that is compatible with their design, such as fiberglass bats or spray foam. Proper spacing between IC-rated cans and insulation is essential to prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. Installing IC-rated cans in a non-fire-rated or improperly installed fire-rated housing can compromise the garage's fire resistance. Using insulation that is not compatible with IC-rated cans can create gaps or voids that allow heat to transfer, increasing the risk of fire. Overloading IC-rated cans with high wattage bulbs or incorrect fixtures can cause overheating and potential fire hazards. To ensure compliance with building codes and minimize fire risks, it is advisable to consult with a qualified electrician and local building officials. They can assess the specific installation and determine if IC-rated cans can be safely used in a fire-rated garage with living space above. Firstly, understand the building code requirements. The International Residential Code, or IRC, mandates that garages attached to living spaces have a fire-rated separation. This separation typically includes fire-rated walls and ceilings, providing a 1 hour fire resistance rating, and fire-rated doors. These measures are crucial in preventing a fire from spreading rapidly from the garage to the living area. Secondly, consider that IC-rated cans are not inherently fire-rated. While they are designed to be in contact with insulation, they do not automatically provide fire resistance. To achieve a fire-rated assembly, these cans must be installed within a fire-rated housing or as part of a fire-rated ceiling system. Thirdly, pay attention to the insulation type. The type of insulation used around IC-rated cans is critical. It must be compatible with the can's design, ensuring that it does not create a fire hazard. Commonly used compatible materials include fiberglass bats and spray foam insulation. Fourthly, maintain proper spacing. Adequate spacing between IC-rated cans and insulation is essential to prevent overheating. Overheating can occur if the insulation is packed too tightly around the can, restricting airflow and causing the can to operate at higher temperatures. This increases the risk of a fire. Fifthly, recognize potential issues like inadequate fire-rated housing. Installing IC-rated cans in a non-fire-rated or improperly installed fire-rated housing can undermine the garage fire resistance. The housing must be specifically designed and certified to provide the necessary fire protection. Sixthly, address incorrect insulation. Using insulation that is not compatible with IC-rated cans can create gaps or voids. These gaps allow heat to transfer more readily, increasing the risk of fire. Ensure that the insulation is properly fitted and rated for use with recessed lighting. Seventhly, avoid overheating. Overloading IC-rated cans with high wattage bulbs or incorrect fixtures can lead to overheating. Always use bulbs and fixtures that are appropriate for the CAS rating to prevent excessive heat buildup. To ensure compliance and minimize fire risks, consulting with a qualified electrician and local building officials is highly recommended. They can assess the specific installation, taking into account all relevant factors, and determine whether IC-rated cans can be safely used in a fire-rated garage with living space above. The advice of a qualified electrician can provide insight into the specific requirements of the local building codes, which may vary depending on the jurisdiction. An electrician can also assess the existing electrical system to ensure that it can handle the additional load imposed by the recessed lighting. Local building officials can provide guidance on the permitting process and ensure that the installation meets all applicable safety standards. The combination of professional expertise and regulatory oversight helps ensure a safe and compliant installation. Understanding the fire-rated garage requirements involves several important aspects that must be considered to ensure safety and compliance with building codes. The key considerations are the fire-rated separation, the selection and installation of IC-rated cans, insulation compatibility, spacing, and the avoidance of common issues such as inadequate housing, incorrect insulation, and overloading. The first key consideration is the fire-rated separation. Garages attached to living spaces are required to have a fire-rated separation to prevent the spread of fire from the garage to the living area. This separation typically includes fire-rated walls and ceilings with a 1 hour fire resistance rating, as well as fire-rated doors. The fire resistance rating indicates the amount of time the barrier can withstand a fire before it fails, providing crucial time for occupants to escape and for firefighters to respond. The integrity of this fire-rated separation is essential for protecting the occupants of the living space. The second key consideration is the selection and installation of IC-rated cans. IC-rated cans are designed to be in contact with insulation, but they are not inherently fire-rated. Therefore, they must be installed in a fire-rated assembly to provide the necessary fire protection. This can be achieved by using fire-rated housing specifically designed for recessed lighting or by incorporating the cans into a fire-rated ceiling system. Proper installation is critical to ensure that the fire-rated assembly functions as intended. The third key consideration is insulation compatibility. The type of insulation used in the garage must be compatible with IC-rated cans to prevent overheating and fire hazards. Compatible materials include fiberglass bats and spray foam insulation. It is important to avoid using insulation that is not rated for use with recessed lighting, as this can create gaps or voids that allow heat to transfer, increasing the risk of fire. The insulation should be installed properly to ensure that it provides adequate thermal protection without compromising safety. The fourth key consideration is spacing. Proper spacing between IC-rated cans and insulation is essential to prevent overheating. The cans should be spaced according to the manufacturer's instructions, and the insulation should not be packed too tightly around them. Adequate airflow around the cans helps to dissipate heat and prevent the cans from operating at excessive temperatures. This is particularly important in enclosed spaces where heat can build up quickly. The fifth key consideration is avoiding common issues. Several common issues can compromise the fire safety of a garage with IC-rated cans. These include, firstly, inadequate fire-rated housing. Installing IC-rated cans in a non-fire-rated or improperly installed fire-rated housing can negate the fire protection provided by the separation. Secondly, incorrect insulation. Using insulation that is not compatible with IC-rated cans can create gaps or voids that allow heat to transfer, increasing the risk of fire. Thirdly, overloading. Overloading IC-rated cans with high wattage bulbs or incorrect fixtures can cause overheating and potential fire hazards. To ensure compliance with building codes and minimize fire risks, it is highly recommended to consult with a qualified electrician and local building officials. They can assess the specific installation and determine if IC-rated cans can be safely used in the fire-rated garage with living space above. A qualified electrician can provide expert advice on the selection, installation, and maintenance of recessed lighting systems, ensuring that they meet all applicable safety standards. Local building officials can provide guidance on the permitting process and ensure that the installation complies with local building codes. By working with these professionals, homeowners can ensure that their garages are both safe and compliant. When assessing the suitability of IC-rated cans in a fire-rated garage, several critical factors need careful consideration. These factors encompass code compliance, fire-rated assemblies, insulation compatibility, spacing, and potential hazards. Firstly, code compliance is paramount. Building codes, such as the International Residential Code, set specific requirements for garages attached to living spaces. These codes mandate a fire-rated separation, typically including 1 hour fire-resistant walls and ceilings along with fire-rated doors. This separation aims to delay the spread of fire from the garage to the living area, providing occupants with valuable time to evacuate safely. Therefore, any lighting installation must adhere to these code requirements to maintain the integrity of the fire-rated separation. Secondly, fire-rated assemblies are crucial. SE-rated cans, while designed for insulation contact, are not inherently fire-rated. They must be installed within a fire-rated assembly to ensure they contribute to the overall fire resistance of the garage. This assembly may involve using fire-rated housings specifically designed for recessed lighting or integrating the cans into a fire-rated ceiling system. The fire-rated assembly must be properly installed and certified to meet the required fire resistance rating. Thirdly, insulation compatibility is essential. The type of insulation used in the garage must be compatible with IC-rated cans to prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. Compatible insulation materials, such as fiberglass bats or spray foam, should be used. It's crucial to avoid insulation that is not rated for use with recessed lighting, as it can create gaps or voids that facilitate heat transfer and increase the risk of fire. The insulation should be installed correctly to ensure adequate thermal protection without compromising safety. Fourthly, proper spacing is necessary. Adequate spacing between IC-rated cans and insulation is essential to prevent overheating. The cans should be spaced according to the manufacturer's instructions, and the insulation should not be packed too tightly around them. Allowing for sufficient airflow around the cans helps dissipate heat and prevent them from operating at excessive temperatures. This is especially important in enclosed spaces where heat can accumulate rapidly. Fifthly, potential hazards must be addressed. Several potential hazards can compromise the fire safety of a garage with IC-rated cans. These include inadequate fire-rated housing, where IC-rated cans are installed in non-fire-rated or improperly installed fire-rated housings, negating the fire protection provided by the separation. Incorrect insulation, where insulation not compatible with IC-rated cans creates gaps or voids that allow heat transfer, increasing the risk of fire. Overloading, where IC-rated cans are overloaded with high wattage bulbs or incorrect fixtures, can cause overheating and potential fire hazards. To ensure compliance with building codes and minimize fire risks, consulting with a qualified electrician and local building officials is highly recommended. They can assess the specific installation and determine if IC-rated cans can be safely used in the fire-rated garage with living space above. Their expertise can ensure that the installation meets all applicable safety standards and regulations. Furthermore, addressing the query about the fire rating of IC-rated cans in a garage with living space above requires a comprehensive understanding of building codes, fire-rated assemblies, insulation, and potential risks. Garages attached to living spaces typically need a fire-rated separation, often a 1-hour fire resistance rating, including walls, ceilings, and doors. IC-rated cans, designed for contact with insulation, aren't inherently fire-rated. They must be installed as part of a fire-rated assembly, like a fire-rated housing or ceiling system, to meet code requirements. The type of insulation is crucial. Use materials compatible with IC-rated cans, such as fiberglass bats or spray foam. Incorrect insulation can create gaps, increasing fire risk. Proper spacing between cans and insulation is vital to prevent overheating. Don't overload cans with high wattage bulbs, as this can also cause overheating. Potential problems include using non-fire rated housings, incompatible insulation, or overloading, all compromising fire resistance. Consulting a qualified electrician and local building officials is recommended for safe installation and compliance. They can assess the installation and determine if IC-rated cans are suitable for a fire-rated garage with living space above. The insulation must meet local building codes and safety standards. Proper spacing between IC-rated cans and insulation is crucial. This prevents overheating, which can lead to a fire hazard. Follow the manufacturer's guidelines for spacing requirements. Avoid overloading IC-rated cans with high wattage bulbs or incorrect fixtures. This can cause the cans to overheat and potentially start a fire. Use only the recommended bulb types and wattage ratings. Ensure that the IC-rated cans are installed in a fire-rated assembly. This may involve using fire-rated housings or a fire-rated ceiling system. The fire-rated assembly helps to contain a fire and prevent it from spreading to other areas. Use insulation that is compatible with IC-rated cans. Incompatible insulation can create gaps or voids, which can increase the risk of fire. Consult with a qualified electrician and local building officials to ensure compliance with building codes and minimize fire risks. They can assess the specific insulation and provide recommendations for safe and compliant lighting. They can determine if IC-rated cans can be safely used in a fire-rated garage with living space above. They can also help to ensure that the installation meets all applicable safety standards and regulations. It is essential to prioritize safety when installing lighting in a garage with living space above. By following these recommendations, you can help to reduce the risk of fire and protect your family and property.